Welcome back everyone, Ronan here, and today I'm going to cover my rogue build and recommendations with a scout. Basically with a rogue, you want to vary the stats you're going to be putting into. I would like to have a lot more perception, because then I can find the traps, the treasures, and I find that I've missed a lot of the treasures and the secrets along the way. As a ranger, I found that I had more leeway into pumping out perception. I don't know, as a rogue I have less, and perception is very important, but so is your dexterity. Make sure you have enough to equip the gear that you are getting. That would also affect your chance to hit, but I found as a rogue, your chance to hit is not all that important, because generally you'll have one of your enemies crowd controlled or CC'd with a debuff. That means you will have a 100% chance to hit on those targets. My dexterity is enough to be able to equip my current weapon, but I also made sure I could use a crossbow. Intelligence, I think I only gave 1 point so I can equip. You want to make sure that you have enough to equip into this slot. Same thing, I play a glass cannon rogue, so like my mages, I have to put a little bit into constitution so that I can support the 14 action points that I'm going to be getting every turn. Base speed 7, you can probably do it with 5. 2 points gives you an extra 4 action points, which I think that's pretty big. Perception will allow you to detect traps, secrets. It'll affect your initiative and critical hit chance, which is pretty impressive. With a ranger, you may want to stack more of this so you can hit from farther away. It'll actually help your chance to hit also. Damage is reflecting on your weapon, not dexterity. So we're going to go right into abilities. Now you're going to want to have single-handed. I doubt you're going to be playing a rogue with a two-handed weapon. The bow crossbow you'd be referring more as a ranger. The rogue build will actually do more damage. Not saying that the ranger build will not be doing damage, but I'll cover a few tips for the ranger also. Defense, I did not put anything in here. I don't plan on getting hit. That's why glass cannon. I only got scoundrel this time around. Sometimes I get 1 or 2 points in man-at-arms for the cure. Maybe you wanted an extra knockdown. Nothing too impressive because your strength is actually really low. Depending on your party, you may want to have a summon that you'd only use for pulling, considering that the scoundrel summon, the wind-up toy, it has a really short range. So you don't want to be relying on this in combat, because if you put it down, it'll actually blow up and kill your group if somebody hits it, or if it just dies from time. So it's not that reliable, but you can use it before a pull and kind of line it up so that it's not hitting your party. And what I mean by lining it up is you summon it, and then if you stealth, you can actually move away without it following you. So that is one way to do it, and if you wanted to, you could pull with your teleport and then say there's an enemy over there. Boom. That's what I like to use it for, is as a grenade essentially. Especially if its turn is not going to be before the enemy, then you don't want it near your group. Alright, craftsmanship, I generally leave that to my mage, like Jahan takes care of this, and maybe my other mage takes care of lore master. So I'm not too worried about it. Nasty deeds is nice. You almost need to have a rogue. Most chests you can just beat down and break, so it's not a big deal to get lockpicking. It is nice to have, especially you can skip certain quests. Instead of having to find a key, you can pick a lock. It's pretty handy. I kind of wish you would be able to pick the locks that are magically locked. You only get 2 scrolls in the game. I have them both, but I don't know if I want to open those chests with it. Pickpocketing, it's nice, but I'm not a big fan of it. I don't need it. It's almost just for gold. You can change the way certain quests are done. If you steal from the mayor in Sicil, I think you can advance a quest faster and get some extra XP. Sneaking is super important. This skill is so overpowered. You could basically solo almost any fight if you have enough sneaking. And I've shown in the video before, I'll link it in the description below, that it's just so awesome because you can avoid almost all damage if you know how to sneak properly. And 5 is a must, because in combat, sneaking originally takes 5 action points to stealth, and then it decreases by 1 for every point you put in until it only costs 1. To sneak in the middle of combat, the cone is so much shorter and you do more damage with the right perks. So I double my damage output by using 1 AP. Thing to note is a rogue, for the most part, only needs 2 AP per attack. So that's still pretty short, and for the amount of damage you can do with 2 AP, let's say you don't have to move, that's essentially 7 hits because you have 14 action points. Now it's not going to be as many. The potency is going to be higher, but it's not going to be as many because you're going to be stealthing in between every single one. So maybe 4 or 5 of them anyway. You can also have haste on your character and invisibility, so it's really handy, especially in the beginning. It's a really good class to play. For talents, you're going to want to have Backstabber, which basically allows you to backstab with daggers, which increases your damage. I'm not sure if it says by how much, but trust me, that's definitely worth it. Bully, you're again a melee class, and you're planning on doing a lot of crowd control because that's what mages are good at. And then you go in with your rogue and you just decimate them with your passive abilities. And basically you're going to do your bulk of the damage with just auto attacks because everything else costs too many action points to really matter. Glass Cannon, double your AP, no brainer. As a rogue, as soon as you reach that 5 stealth, you should never get attacked again. They'll never see you coming. Guerrilla, that's what makes sneak so awesome. Doubles your attack damage while sneaking. That means every attack I'm going to do right now as a rogue, what you want to do is line that backstab. If you can see the difference, you have to be perfectly behind the target for a backstab. So I move a little bit to the side, no longer a backstab. I move a little bit back, backstab. And because I'm stealth, I'm going to be getting ×2 damage. Because it's a backstab, I think it's 0.5 more. So you're doing essentially 2.5 times the damage you would normally. So if I hit, so that's 400 essentially. Oh, actually more. Yeah, because I had shadow damage and fire damage on both hits. So I actually did almost 700 damage in one turn. If I were to do a non-backstab. So 50, 51. A backstab will do almost double in damage. So almost double, which means when now you're doing a stealth backstab, you're doing 4 times the damage. If I can line it up. Like I said, sometimes lining up the hit is pretty hard. Because of crits, I actually did a lot more damage. So Rogue is pretty OP. So you can see how effective a Rogue can be, because in 1 or 2 turns, you can just kill the enemy. One spell I really like to use on my Rogue is Oath of Desecration. It basically boosts your damage by 50%. So if I put it on my Rogue, so my Rogue is boosted right now. If I hurry up, because this is real time, buffs don't last that long. Stealth, and then basically go for the kill. Whoa, that was like a 900 hit almost, when factored everything in. So you can see that it's a huge damage spike if you play it properly. Now let's keep going with the talents. Light Stepper, because I wanted more perception to detect traps and secrets. Swift-footed gave me more movement speed, which allows me to save up my AP for attacks and not moving. All Skilled Up could have been used at the beginning, but it was kind of hard to get everything I wanted, and I wasn't sure how many points I would have by the end of the game. I think I'll still get 1 to 2 more talents before the game is over. Could get bigger and better. I mean, immunity to fear could be useful because often enough you'll get feared when the enemy doesn't know you're there. Like you're invisible or stealth, it'll still use fear, and you're not immune to those abilities unless you're by yourself, because then they won't target you at all. Escapist, that's up to you. I wouldn't use it. I mean, you shouldn't have to run. That's your XP anyway, so. Okay, Leech would be a good one, because while you're stealthed, I don't have enough points. While you're stealthed, you could still heal up just by walking through the puddles of blood. And since you're a rogue, you'll be causing a lot of bloodshed. Again, Lone Wolf, only if you know what you're doing. Speed Creeper, I don't think it would make a difference, because if you have enough points in stealth, you won't care to walk at normal speed. This may be more of a real-time buff. you can switch out of your stealth because it doesn't cost any AP to do so. So you can move out before combat, get to a close enough position, stealth again, and then move the rest. I don't see Speed Creeper being that big of a deal. Stench. I mean, you'll be in melee a lot, so that's up to you. People will hate you more, but I mean, if you're not going to get hit by a melee opponent, not a bad idea. Walk it off. It's kind of a double-edged sword. The debuffs last 1 turn less, but so does your food, so it's pretty handy, I guess. But just watch out for it, because if you don't, pay attention to that, you could be, just wasting food or potions or anything, or haste. You probably won't be getting to below 30% much, so I would also skip that one. Zombie, same idea as Leech. If you wanted, you could let him heal from poison damage. Quick draw would be nice for a ranger. Alright, so the main difference between a rogue and a ranger is going to be the weapon. With a dagger, the damage is pretty significant, so rogue is definitely the highest DPS class in the game. I say this, but you could also pack in a warrior with stealth and, best gear, he'll do a lot of damage. Now the reason why I say to carry a crossbow, although it has perception on it, so that's good. 22 meters for the range. Even casters only get 17. So I'm out of sight at 18, but I mean, I'm not even in the screen pretty much. This is pretty huge. The nice thing about a bow is on the pole. Okay, let's compare. So if I were to attack Medora, 42. If I stealth, you won't be getting positionals, but 98. So you can see that the damage difference is huge compared to my rogue. So one thing I meant to show is you can stealth and still get the hits off and do a nice amount of damage. While I like crossbows better, they do cost an AP more, I believe, and they don't have a range that goes as far as a bow. But what's awesome about it is that as fast as you can pull the trigger or click the mouse, there's an arrow going out. So you gotta be careful with your weapon breaking down, because that just costs quite a bit. Oh, just 5. But you can actually set your button so that you double click maybe on your mouse, depending on your mouse, and because you can probably safely hit somebody 2 to 3 times before the encounter starts. So that is pretty good. And if you do this from stealth, so the damage is also there. But what's really nice, I don't know if I have any, but the arrows. The arrows are basically spells that create an effect. Quick draw, 1 AP less for a ranged weapon. That's awesome because you can just keep stealthing throughout the fight, so you don't get hit and you do more damage. So really, the scout class is all about the stealth. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I try to upload videos with tips, tricks, guides that will hopefully help some of you out with gaming. I would like to build a better community of gaming. Definitely less negativity, and hopefully we can improve your skills so that you actually enjoy the games more. I find the better I play, the more I enjoy the games. And thank you all for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.